A romance like no other romance. They met. They fell in love. They got married. And then something tragic happened.
Restoring hope. Open my heart to sing. Taking the darkness inside. Revealing your light. Restoring hope. Open my eyes to see. See the world through different eyes. Revealing your light. Restoring hope.
It's Mother's Day, 2014. I'm J. Michael McCoy, and welcome to this special edition of Restoring Hope Live on this day set aside to celebrate the most cherished person in our lives, and that's our mother. Michael Hartwig is in the house along with the Cat in the Hat, Bob Montserrat watching the chat, and we appreciate the time that you've set aside. I know that today is a busy day. You're doing things with mom, and you're doing things with your kids, and you're doing things with grandma. And for whatever reason, the good Lord has brought you before this channel, this broadcast, this message. And I thank you for that. There will be a nugget of wisdom that you will get out of this program. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. But God knows what it is. We're going to tell you the story of Renae Shepley, her life, her love, her children. And on this Mother's Day, why this Mother's Day is not going to be the best day of her life. However, because of the love of Jesus Christ, she knows that she is loved. And nothing on the face of this earth is greater than that love. And you can work through anything. Renae, how are you?
Good, thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I walked in and I looked at Renae and I said, I know you. So for those of you that are listening on the radio, Renae is a beautiful, my guess is Scandinavian. Don't know?
German.
German?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're not that stubborn. I know you. You're not that stubborn.
Well,
Beautiful German lady with blue eyes, hazel eyes.
blue.
Blue eyes.
Yes.
And so just to know, and she's got this huge, wonderful smile that just lights up this room, because you all got old crabby puss over here in Hartwig. That he's kind of like the grumpy old guy that sits there, and
Oh, come on, Mac.
So anyway, how are you? Missed you.
Doing great. Yeah, it's been a while.
Been gone.
Hey, I have a question. Do you get something for your wife for Mother's Day?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding
do.
me?
You do. But she's
sure.
not your mother.
She is a mother. She
Okay.
is the mother to my children.
Well, I struggle with that. Do I get my wife something for Mother's Day? It's
Yes.
just-
I don't think you
don't.
should.
You don't. Thanks. But
There you go.
Are you serious?
No, I am. I just don't think he should.
Yes,
From a guy who doesn't buy Christmas presents.
I will have, I can tell you what I'll have, or what I sent already. I sent my mothers, because I'm fortunate enough to have two of them, and they both got a card.
Sure.
To my adopted mother, I said, thank you for choosing me and raising me, and I love you. To my biological mother, I say, thank you for having me. Long story, tell you later, but basically I found my biological mother when I was 18, and she said, understand that if Roe versus Wade had been law, I would have aborted you. But this was 1958, and she wasn't going to take that chance. So every year I thank her for giving birth to me. And my wife will get one. My daughter will get one because she has kids.
Wow.
And I will begin, I have begun here this last week with any woman that I run into at church or something. I say, hey, by the way, happy Mother's Day. You're a good mom.
Good for you.
Because that's what everybody wants to hear, you know? All right. Tough story to share with you. If you're not able to listen to the whole program today, either on XM Sirius or on one of the American Family radio stations, all 152 of you, this is available for podcast at restoringhopelive.com. restoringhopelive.com, and just click on the program that's dated today. It should say Renae Shepley on it, and then you'll be able to hear the program. You can forward it through social media, share it with the people that you love, because every once in a while, I would have loved to fill this studio today with 5 generations of women. Right?
Right.
And bouncing little babies to great-great-grandma who's just as thrilled at 104 to be alive. But that's what everybody's Mother's Day stories are. You have such an incredible story, and I think it's important for people to hear the tragedy in your life, but yet you maintain. And I know you're sad sometimes, and I my guess is at the beginning you even yelled at Jesus a little bit. Maybe not. No, good.
No.
Well, good. I'm that same way. I would never blame him for an accident or something. But all right, and here's what we're talking about. Renae lost her husband in a tragic farm accident about a year and a half ago. And in fact, May 11th, today, is your wedding anniversary. Mm-hmm. And you would have been married how long?
18 years.
Wow. And you have 4 kids?
Yeah, all girls.
Oh, wow. How old are they? From what to what?
Now, almost 16 down to 8.
All right. And I'll want to talk about them
Sure.
and other family members, but please do not say anything that you don't want to say, and don't be coerced by the tears running down my cheeks or the $100 bills I'm willing to. No, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start out. When did you and Noel or Noel?
Noel.
When did you and Noel meet?
We met at church in probably the spring of 1995
Okay.
in the singles group.
In the singles group at
Yep.
your church. Okay. And tell me the first thing you thought of him. Was it love at first sight?
Not quite. He came with a gentleman that was quite a bit older than him. And so I assumed he was in that age range also.
Okay.
And so since I was younger quite a bit than that guy, then I thought there's just no way.
How old were you at this time? Is this a high school group?
22.
22.
Yep.
Okay. And so
So was he
thought,
rooming with this other guy?
No.
No, they
No,
just came.
They just came
hey,
from the
let's go to
same town. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were cruising around looking for something to do.
No, they
went
purposely
to-
came.
they went to church.
The friend had already been
Sure.
coming to the church,
Sure.
and then he invited him, and he accepted his offer and came down and got to know a bunch of us. So yeah.
Okay.
So was he a Christian at that? Was
Yeah.
Noel a Christian? Oh,
Totally,
was he
yeah.
really? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And do you remember the first thing that Noel said to you?
Oh wow. Let me think. Well, actually, he, of course, when you're single, you move around quite a bit, and he came with a truck. And so he moved around a lot of us single ladies when we needed help with a truck. And so he happened to move my roommate's stuff in with my stuff into an apartment. And then we met, he met my family.
What a great way to pick up girls. is
Yeah.
You have a truck and you
You
can
have
move
such a
off from-
potty mind. Maybe he was just genuinely a nice guy.
He is a
He was.
servant.
He,
Wanted
yeah,
to
he
help
did.
people.
No, he was.
He is a
was.
servant, that's for sure.
And so he helped your roommate move into your house.
We moved into an apartment together.
And do you remember the first date?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
How much after he moved your girlfriend in was the first date?
probably about 3 months.
All right.
I'm kind of bad with dates because so much has happened, but so he a bunch of us had went to Saylorville to the beach one Sunday, and so the next Sunday I invited him to join us, but I didn't really invite anybody else, and hoping that no one else would join us, and so it ended up just being him and I, and we just clicked, and we of course generally spend lots of time just communicating and talking to each other, and it just continued from there.
Was he easy to talk to?
Totally, yeah.
All right. It's the love story of Renae and Noel, and we're going to continue that story. In the middle, we're going to hit a bad bump. But the point of the show today is for us all to realize that through the worst of times, Jesus can save us, comfort us, surround us with his love. That's what he did for Renae. That's what he can do for you. This is RestoringHopeLive.com, a weekly program about life's hurts, habits, and hang-ups. This is the special edition, Mother's Day 2014. Thanks for listening.
Restoring hope.
Today, millions are struggling with alcohol or drug addiction. If you or people you know struggle with a chemical dependency where a substance owns you, and you have other struggles such as depression, anxiety, or trauma that can often go along with it, get your freedom back and successfully transform your life from one controlled by addiction to a clean, sober, fulfilling life. Contact Transformations Treatment Center, where our caring professionals will help you find your freedom. Transformations Treatment Center offers both a 12-step and a Christian 12-step program, providing healing for the mind, body, and spirit. At Transformations Treatment Center, we understand the pain. Get your freedom back. Transform your world.
Addiction specialists are ready to take your call. Call now, 877-989-5758. That's 877-989-5758. That's 877-989-5758.
Here's Dan Celia with today's Stewardship Moment.
I always say that our stewardship doesn't start or end with our financial blessings. Listen to Genesis 1:28. Fill the earth, subdue it, rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground. God, for some reason, has given us some of His authority and expects us to manage or be good stewards and have responsibility for the environment and the other creatures that share this planet with us. God has entrusted us as stewards of it, and we must not be careless in how we manage it.
You've just heard a Stewardship Moment with Dan Celia of Financial Issues Ministry, helping you plan, give, and invest wisely. For more information, log on to financialissues.org. That's financialissues.org.
It's about life's hurts, habits, and hang-ups. It might be alcoholism. It might be an eating disorder. This is a Christ-centered program. And what we try to do on this program is give you an insight, a peek inside what that hurt, habit, and hang-up looks like to help you personally cope with it, or maybe to help you help the one you love cope with it.
Restoring Hope Live, every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern. Brought to you by Transformations Treatment Center. Find out more at restoringhopelive.com.
The Pocket Testament League presents Pocket Power. Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. If you've ever failed to share your faith because you just didn't know what words to use, then carry the word with you.
We give out the Gospels to everyone we come in contact with. It's so encouraging to watch somebody actually open it and look through it. And then hopefully later they can pull it out and read it.
This is Mike Brickley, president of the Pocket Testament League. League members have found that any place is a good place to share a pocket gospel with someone they meet. Join us and you'll always be ready. Is there anything more important?
Our theme for this season at our street ministry was Bible Boot Camp. The Camel Gospels of John are perfect for the packages we will be passing out at our season end carnival. Thanks.
What are you waiting for? Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. For more information, call 1-800-636-8785 or visit pocketpower.org. That's pocketpower.org.
All across America, there are countless numbers of people struggling with addiction and other life-controlling issues. Probably someone you know and love. There is a way out. There is hope. Transformations Treatment Center in Delray Beach, Florida, has a unique approach to substance abuse treatment. Call now and ask about our guaranteed success program, Transformations. Change your life, change your relationships, transform your world.
Learn more now at restoringhopelive.com. Restoring hope, open my heart to sing, taking the darkness inside, revealing your light, restoring hope.
Welcome back, Restoring Hope Live, special edition on this Mother's Day. 2014, the voice you hear singing the Restoring Hope Live theme song is none other than Matt Baird, who has a band called Spoken, travels all around the country, spreading the good news of Jesus Christ through his music. And if you ever get a chance, you might look him up on Facebook or check him out on YouTube. He also plays music that sounds like grunge, which I don't understand how you can have such an incredible voice and such an ability to write and then sing something that sounds like breathe, but that's his deal. So I love the man. He did a great thing for us. And
That was truly a gift you showed us right there. That was amazing.
that other side of me?
Yeah.
That
was great.
The rocker in me, 80s
that was
rocker.
good, yeah.
Bob Montserrat is watching the chat. Should you want to join us on the chat at RestoringHopeLive.com. And our guest today is Renae Shepley. And at age 22, this cute little kid by the name of Noel, was he the same age as you?
No, he was 25.
Okay, well, that's the same age.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, when you get a certain age, it all looks the same.
It just all
looking
looks
back.
the same. Yeah. Although, should I say this? No, I shouldn't.
Wow, have you grown in the Lord? I tell you what, in the old days, that would have just came right out. Whatever it was,
fell right out.
It would have just not even a thought.
I know. Well, yeah.
So you went through a stage where you put the brakes on it, but then you still let it out, and now you're putting the brakes on, and you don't let it come out. That's real growth, Mac. That's amazing.
That's
great.
not really what it was.
Oh, okay.
I had to think of whether my wife would be listening to this or not. I knew she would, so I shut up. It's the sanctity of marriage and how I'd like to keep it.
Good choice.
Good job, man. Good choice.
So you and Noel meet in
Noel. It's
Noel. I'm
Noel.
sorry.
It's Noel.
When you're 22, so this is 94, 95. And how long did you, what'd you do on your first day? You went to the beach, you said, and you tricked him because you told him it was a party for a lot of people.
No, I didn't. I didn't say anything. I just invited him.
But you didn't invite anybody else.
True.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And what do you remember? You get back. Are you living at home? No, you're living in
an apartment. Yeah.
You close to your mom?
About an hour.
Okay. So did you pick up the phone after that date with Noel and say, "Mom, I just met the dreamboat, the man of my life, the father of my children"?
No, I didn't tell her that. No.
No. Did you tell anybody that?
Oh, probably yes.
Because you felt it. The pitter patter was there.
Yeah.
What was the sweetest thing about that day?
Probably just how comfortable we were to just share our hearts with each other, and just you could, of course, I had observed him at church quite a bit, so I knew his love for Christ was very evident.
Now,
so.
Observe is the way a nice woman says stalked.
No.
You didn't stalk him?
No.
Okay.
No.
Checked him out.
Checked him out.
Checked him out. Yeah.
Yeah. Stalked.
No.
All right. So, did you kiss on the first date?
No.
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 When was your first kiss?
Oh, man. I usually tried to wait a while, so it wasn't that was the focus. So it was probably a good amount of time. So
I don't know.
But we didn't date very long, so.
Yeah, because you only dated how many? Less than a year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when did he ask you to marry him?
You know your daughters are going to be listening to this, and they're going to want to say, "Mom, what do you mean usually waited? I usually waited a while."
Well, that was a long time ago.
I bet you $20 for daughters don't hear this now.
Yeah.
We're going to skip over that 23-minute mark.
What do you mean, Mom? You usually
Of course,
waited
I was 22 years old.
Okay.
But
Hey, stop being such a dad, okay?
yeah.
All right, so
we actually started dating in July, and then we picked out rings in September. But he didn't ask me until December. But we pretty much knew we wanted to get married in May.
So you dated in July.
Mm-hmm.
You looked at rings in September.
Yeah.
And he proposed to you in
December.
Was it like a Christmas thing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he go and ask your father for permission?
True. Yes.
Did you know he did that?
Yeah, but he doesn't know that he didn't know I didn't know.
Okay, but so what? He comes and your dad calls you up and says, "I want to."
No, I was at my parents' when he called to meet with my dad, and I was on the other line. Like, I picked up, and I, back in
You heard the whole thing?
No, I heard that he was going to meet with my dad.
Okay.
Phone stalker.
That's right.
Now we can add phone to the list.
We're starting to see a pattern here.
No.
So you knew, and did your dad ask you anything about it?
No, it was pretty evident.
All right.
Yeah.
And he liked him?
Yeah.
Your mom liked him?
Yeah.
Yeah. They say you marry somebody like dear old dad, did you?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Okay. And so the wedding was when?
May 11th.
Oh, I knew that.
In 1996.
So it was 18 years ago today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And was it just the perfect wedding?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Guess what?
You were there.
I was there.
And your son was their ring bearer. Yeah,
right.
David.
Yeah.
That's when David was little David.
Right, little David.
Yeah.
He was so cute. It was a great wedding.
How did you two know each other then?
Went to church.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we went to church. Yeah.
All right. Just tell me about the wedding a little bit. Tell me about some of the magic at the wedding. Was it a sunny day?
Yes, it was amazing
Okay.
weather. We both knew quite a few people, so it was a pretty big wedding. And I pre-recorded a song that was played for him.
That you sung?
True.
Pre-recorded?
Yes, because I didn't know if I would be able to sing in front of everyone live, so we pre-recorded it.
Okay. You think you could have done it live after this?
No.
No? Okay,
No.
good. All right.
And our great friend did the ceremony, and a lot of my family and some of his family were in the wedding.
Okay.
And
Who was your maid of honor?
I had two, my
Okay.
best friend and my one of my sisters.
Okay. Because you really just wanted Emma, but the sister would have just hung you by your toes if you didn't include her, right? You don't have to answer that.
No, don't answer that.
I've seen enough episodes of Friends, and I know how that works. And where'd you go on your honeymoon?
We went to Florida.
Went to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Did Dad cry when he gave you away?
I wasn't really focused on my dad that day.
Well, but didn't he? He walks
Great
you up.
answer. Great answer.
He walks you up, and then he kisses you, and then he hands you off to Noel.
He's pretty emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And did she just sit there going through boxes of Kleenex?
I don't think so. I think she was pretty happy.
Okay.
Pretty confident.
And so you get married, and shortly after that, you had your first child.
Yes.
Right?
In 98, yes.
A daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is?
Lydia.
Oh, I love that name.
Thanks.
Did you
Me
take that
too.
name from the Bible?
Yes, and we knew a friend that had that name, and we just loved how it sounded.
You're the second person in 2 weeks that I've met that have named their daughter Lydia.
Yeah.
That's great. Did you know the story in the Bible? Do I need to tell you about
No,
it? No. Okay.
Keep going. We got a lot to go here. Keep going.
We do?
Yeah, keep it going.
Okay. All right. So, well, you take it from here then if you think we got a lot going. What am I missing?
I know the end of the story. I want to get to it. That's
Okay.
all. I'm anxious.
And so over the course of the years,
Yeah.
you had 4 girls.
Yes.
How bad did Noel want a boy?
He obviously was thankful for the girls he got,
Sure.
but I think every guy would like a boy,
Do you think would you have tried to have another one, or were you done at 4?
No, we were good.
Okay.
I was tired.
All right.
Yeah.
And were you guys farmers?
Part-time. Yeah.
Part-time?
Like hobby farmers.
Hobby farmers.
Yeah.
All right. And life was good. Life was wonderful. You both were mugged by Jesus, and he had you in the palm of your hand. And then one day, November 24th of 2012, tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
How did you hear about it?
So that year it was Thanksgiving weekend, and we had a quieter Thanksgiving. And then Saturday morning we were up early, ready to go to my side of the family to celebrate Thanksgiving. And I'm a baker a lot of the times, and so I was in the midst of baking and packing and making arrangements with meeting people and stuff. And so him and one of my daughters, my third child, Mallory, she and him went to do chores.
How old is Mallory?
At that time, she was 9.
9, okay. Chores on the farm?
Yeah, and my in-laws, they live next door.
Okay,
And
so you live right next to his parents. So he kind of hobby farmed his mom and dad's farm?
And ours. We both had acreages.
Acreages, okay. We're hearing the story about Renae and Noel Shepley, and as you can tell by the story, something bad's about to happen. And with Renae's blessing, she'll share that with us and that experience. And why are we telling this story on Mother's Day? I mean, why shouldn't I have 5 generations of gracious women who are all celebrating Mother's Day? You know why? Because you'll get that on every other channel today. Today, I want to tell you a story about why we should appreciate our mothers and our fathers and our husbands and our wives and our children. Because in the blink of an eye, life changes. We're going to hear how Renae's life changed next, here on RestoringHopeLive.com.
All across America, there are countless numbers of people struggling with addiction and other life-controlling issues. Probably someone you know and love. There is a way out. There is hope. Transformations Treatment Center in Delray Beach, Florida, has a unique approach to substance abuse treatment. Call now and ask about our guaranteed success program, Transformations. Change your life, change your relationships, transform your world.
Learn more now at RestoringHopeLive.com.
Here's Dan Celia with today's Stewardship Moment.
One time a woman said to me that people were asking her why she was saving her money. What was she worried about? I told her to say that she was saving it for the kingdom of Jesus Christ. In Acts 1:8, one of the last things that Jesus ever said to his apostles was, "You will be my witness in Jerusalem and all of Judea and Samaria and to the ends of the earth." God sometimes tells us what we will be doing, even with our financial resources. But sometimes we just need to wait. God will do a great work with what He has blessed us with.
You've just heard a Stewardship Moment with Dan Celia of Financial Issues Ministry, helping you plan, give, and invest wisely. For more information, log on to financialissues.org. That's financialissues.org.
Make sure your child is up with the alarm and ready for school each morning, because missing just 18 days, even in middle school, will put their graduation at risk. It's up to you. Learn more at boostup.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
The Pocket Testament League presents Pocket Power. Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. There's no easier way to share your faith than by giving someone a free gift, the Word of God in a compact, pocket-sized gospel.
I plan on giving the Gospels out to people I meet. I'll put a few of them out in a truck stop, and they're handy to carry. I can give them to people I come in contact with every day.
This is Mike Brickley, president of the Pocket Testament League. League members have found that any place is a good place to share a pocket gospel with someone they meet. Join us, and you'll always be ready. Is there anything more important?
I have never used these Gospels before, but I plan to give them out wherever and whenever I can, at restaurants, when I meet new people, even with family members. Thank you for your service.
What are you waiting for? Read, carry, and share the gospel every day. For more information, call 1-800-636-8785 or visit pocketpower.org. That's pocketpower.org.
Today, millions are struggling with alcohol or drug addiction. If you or people you know struggle with a chemical dependency where a substance owns you, and you have other struggles such as depression, anxiety, or trauma that can often go along with it, get your freedom back and successfully transform your life from one controlled by addiction to a clean, sober, fulfilling life. Contact Transformations Treatment Center, where our caring professionals will help you find your freedom. Transformations Treatment Center offers both a 12-step and a Christian 12-step program, providing healing for the mind, body, and spirit. At Transformations Treatment Center, we understand the pain. Get your freedom back. Transform your world.
Addiction specialists are ready to take your call. Call now, 877-989-5758. That's 877-989-5758. That's 877-989-5758.
Restoring hope, open my heart to sing, taking the darkness inside, revealing your light, restoring hope.
Welcome back. This is RestoringHopeLive.com, a weekly ministry heard on XM Sirius Radio and the 152, I was just corrected, 152 radio stations in the American Family Radio Network. And we are so thankful to be a part of both of those networks. As we talked about last time, we've been renewed. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. I don't think I've ever been in a position where it wasn't up to me of whether we continued.
Wow.
I don't think so. But we've been renewed by both XM Sirius and AFR. I think this is our 53rd show. I think this is the first.
It's close because I have 52, but it's probably 53.
Because we started right after my birthday, and my birthday is April 15th.
It would be 53.
This is the 53rd show.
Yes.
Yeah. So
April 15th is your birthday?
Uh-huh.
Tax day?
Yeah, you missed it.
Oh, my.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln got shot, the Titanic sunk, and I was born.
Oh, my.
And
we pay taxes.
And I don't have to because I was born on that day.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a free pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what Obama told me, at least. Of course, told me I could keep my insurance, too. So we have today's Mother's Day, and I always like to take Mother's Day and Father's Day and help share a story of where tragedy has struck. Not because I'm morbid, because everybody else is celebrating these long lines of generational mothers and fathers. And I think we ought to know that today there's one mom. Her name is Renae. She is so thankful for her personal relationship with Christ, but she doesn't get to share Mother's Day with the guy who made her a mom. Not once, not twice, but 4 times over. And we were just starting to get to there. We're going to go back to November 24th, which was a Saturday. 2012, and your husband Noel and your 9-year-old daughter Mallory, is that right?
Yeah.
We're off to do chores on the farm.
Right.
So go ahead and share.
Sure. So they went and did chores, and I had to run into town to get some more supplies for baking. And when I left, I was kind of bummed that they weren't back yet, because I had been calling, but not extreme, just because it was cold out, and I was hoping that my daughter wasn't out in the cold too long, because I'm a mother, always. And so so I got the ingredients really quick. His grandma had it ready for me, and so I grabbed the ingredients, said goodbye, and as I left her apartment, I could hear sirens. And I was wondering which way I should go home just to stay out of the way, because I didn't even know where they were headed. And as I turned down our road, I saw the siren lights at the end of our road, near where my husband was probably at.
Okay.
But I had no idea what I was going to come upon.
In fact, you didn't think it probably related to you?
No.
No, you just thought.
I didn't.
Neighbor.
I really just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And there was lots of vehicles there already, and so I had to park a little ways back to just to stay out of the way too. But I knew it was where my husband and daughter were, and so I started running toward the scene. And as I was running, of course, it's a small town, so they knew us. And one of the the first responders came out to me and stopped me and would not let me get any closer to the scene, and shared with me that my daughter, both of her legs were trapped under the tractor, but they were working on getting her out, and that he couldn't find a pulse on my husband. And that those words didn't really click to me what that really meant. I just thought, well, keep trying, whatever. Of course, he stayed with me to help me.
So you had not yet realized that Noel was gone.
No.
You thought that they were continuing to try to revive him.
Right. There's the tractor was surrounded by people trying to help. And of course, they were trying to airbag the tractor up to get it off of my daughter.
Okay.
And so I, of course, I still had 3 daughters at home. And so I called the oldest and told her to just stay at home. And
could they see this from their house?
They could probably see lights, but they hadn't noticed yet because there was no reason for them to be looking outside.
Did you tell them why?
I told my daughter that there had been an accident, but I didn't know the situation, and I asked her not to share with the others right now, just so she didn't have to deal with them panicking, because I really didn't know the situation totally.
and I take this from every movie scene where the mother is almost hysterical and sometimes cannot be held back by any human being of any size because mommy adrenaline kicks in. I call it mama bear.
Yeah.
What were you like there at that time?
So at that time, I really kind of shocked myself. I was in shock, and I just had this peace over me that the responder that knew me and knew my family knew what was best. And if it was best for me to let them take care of my family, then I was not going to interfere. And I know this might seem weird, but I could also see the news station was there, and I knew I was on camera. And so I was really trying to, I couldn't even fathom what all was happening. And I was just trying to just regroup. I was just in shock, and it was cold outside. So you just kind of freeze up anyway.
Did the first responder continue to stay with you?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't
The
leave
whole
your
time.
side.
No.
Was he afraid that you'd take off to the tractor? Or was he just there to comfort you? Or?
I think he was there. I think he knew, or I know he knew that Noel had passed, but he just needed me to just gradually understand that. And I was making phone calls, and he was helping me because a lot of people couldn't understand me because I was very choked up and shocked.
Who'd you call first after your daughter? His mom.
I'm not
or dad?
sure if I called his parents or my brother because we were making plans with my brother. We were meeting my brother, but his parents weren't home. So I know I called both of them, but I can't remember the exact order.
And do you know what you said?
I said there was a bad accident, and I think I even did tell his parents that he wasn't breathing, but they really couldn't understand me.
Okay.
His dad just said, call 911, and I said, they're here. And and then I let the responder knew his parents too. And so I let him talk to them for a while because I just couldn't get anything clear to them.
So what happened? Did the tractor catch the ditch or something and it rolled over?
Yeah, we're not quite sure. It was a open cab tractor, a small tractor, and it just rolled over in the ditch. And
Mallory was on his lap.
I'm not sure. I think she might have been on the side fender, but I'm not really sure because I tried to be really limited in what I asked her to remember of that day.
Okay. So at what moment did you realize that you had lost your husband?
Sure. So we are standing there, and another person, I'm not sure which one she worked for, the ambulance, the helicopter, I'm not sure because the helicopter did come and land. And she came up to me and said that they were lifelining my daughter and where to go and that I was not to drive. And I was confused because I assumed Noel was worse from the information I was given. And so I asked her, well, why are you taking Mallory and not Noel? And she told me that he had passed.
Is that how she said it?
She said he is dead.
Okay.
And of course both of his sisters were near me and my brother-in-law, and we were all just like we did not understand the severity until that moment. And then I had to go to my home after I had to get to my vehicle and then home. And I never did get to see Mallory. So I had no idea what shape Mallory was in. All I knew is where she was going.
And so you didn't go to the hospital where she was?
Yeah, but I had to be driven there.
Driven there, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you did that the same day?
Yeah.
Who was the hardest person to tell?
Everyone.
Okay.
Everybody loved Noel.
Okay. When you got to the hospital, what type of condition was Mallory in?
Well, can I back up a little bit? Because I had to, before I could go to the hospital, I stopped at the house and I had to share with my other daughters. the news.
All three of them.
And of course, people were there already, so I wasn't sure what they knew. And so I just kind of looked around and like, do they know? And they're like, no, we couldn't tell them. And so, of course, by then they're like, what's going on? And so I said there was a bad accident and that Mallory was hurt, but she's going to the hospital and that Daddy had died. And then we all kind of collapsed.
Sure. Who took it the hardest?
Not sure.
Everybody.
I mean, it was so hard to focus on individuals.
Yeah. How old was your youngest at the time?
6.
6. Did she grasp what that meant, do you think?
She I think kind of did, just because of just the severity of everybody all around and everybody's sad. And one more thing I have to back up to say, because it's very, very huge. When the first responders got to the accident, Mallory, they were all sad and crying because all of them knew my husband, and the people that had found him even knew them. And Mallory asked, "Why are you guys sad and crying? He's in heaven with Jesus now." And they all just broke down because she's 9 and they didn't even know she knew he had passed. And for her to have that understanding and that wisdom for them was really powerful, and they won't forget that.
So your daughter told them that Daddy was in heaven before anybody else knew Daddy was in heaven?
Before they at least knew that she knew.
Okay.
I'm sure they knew, because I think he died instantly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was still trapped under the tractor while they're trying to get him out.
And was he crushed, or what do you know what he physically passed from?
Broke his neck and his back, yeah.
Okay. All right. You're listening to Renae Shepley. This event happened November 24th of 2012. She is the mother of 4 beautiful daughters. And the reason we're doing this on Mother's Day is so maybe, maybe you'll go give your husband or wife an extra kiss. Or, maybe you'll pick up the phone today and you'll call someone that maybe you're angry with or you've had an estrangement with and you don't really talk, and you kind of get through the relationship the best you can and just kind of fake it till you make it. And what I want you to hear in this woman's story is that she gets to celebrate Mother's Day today with 4 beautiful daughters, and it sounds like a whole family of people, but the reason she's a mom isn't there. Dad's gone. Second Mother's Day. Dad's gone. Now, he knew Jesus, so there's no doubt there.
Right.
And was that important to everybody in the family, or do you have non-believers or unbelievers or
right
in the family?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did they, just one more second, how did they take, what's the difference between how they took his death and you took his death?
Of course, when you know Jesus and you love Jesus with all your heart, you have a hope. This world is temporary. Yeah. We all know that. And so to understand that, when you're a believer, you get to see them again someday is a different kind of a peace and a hope that those that don't, it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
But they know the amazing person that he was because he loved Jesus so much that I think it's just hard for them to understand why, there's still bad people in this world and the good had to leave.
Our guest is Renae Shepley. Today, Mother's Day. She celebrates Mother's Day because she has 4 beautiful daughters, but the man that made her a mother died a little over a year ago, and that's what we're talking about today.
Noel kept a prayer journal, didn't he?
Yeah.
Can you read? Why don't you read one of those?
Uh-oh.
So, and going through some of the house, I found at least 3 different prayer journals, and I believe it was in 2000 or 2003 or 2004 in November. he wrote, Lord.
So he would sit down and write in the morning during his devotion time.
Right.
He would write what he was praying about and things like that. Okay.
He wrote, Lord Jesus, thank you for your great promise. And we as the Shepley family can't wait for no more tears and no more death. I praise you, Lord Jesus. Lord, bless our kids, Lydia, Cassidy, Mallory, and Holly. Use them for your glory. Lord, I ask that you will give me a great day in the Lord and bless the works of my hands, Jesus. Be with Renae and pour your spirit on her.
And you knew he wrote these things.
I had kind of forgotten.
Okay.
But I never, it's a journal. You don't really snoop
Right.
into someone's journals,
Right.
When they're alive.
What's the legacy that those journals hold for you today?
The spiritual leader that he was to me and so many. He was an elder at a church. He was a Sunday school teacher. We taught college immediately, like the week after our honeymoon, to kids that were not much younger than us. He was a testimony at work. In fact, one of the last things he said to a coworker, because it's a saying he says frequently, is absent with the body is present with the Lord. And he would raise his hands up really high and be so, like, he was always ready to go meet his maker because he could not wait to meet Jesus someday.
And how about your girls? How are they doing today?
My girls, they are kids, and so they handle it better than most people. They still, I'm sure, are sad, but we aren't people that just sit around and cry and keep to ourselves. We are very much into other people and activities, and so...
Do they, when they pray, what do they pray concerning Noel?
They just are mostly just thankful for the example that he was to them. And we try really hard to, especially when we are sad, that we don't end our conversation sad. So if we miss Noel that day, we would say, we miss Noel, but we'll see him again someday. And so it wasn't always that we would just focus on the gloomy bummer of a life that it is at times. And so that has been even what I try to portray when I put on Facebook a message or whatever, that it's not just about the sadness of our life. There is hope. And of course, I am human and I am sad a lot. I don't have it all together all the time. Of course, it was a time where I tried really hard to be stronger than I really am. And then an amazing missionary lady shared with me that God wants us to be weak, so we lean on him more. He is our strength.
Yeah.
And that was so freeing to have that understanding that it was not just however I can handle it. It's because Christ is always with us that we can get through this.
Where have you seen God in all this?
Oh, wow. So many people were touched by Noel and witnessed to by Noel, prayed for by Noel, that we continually are blessed, honestly, which helps too to get through the hard times.
How many times did you have to shovel your driveway this year?
I started once, pathetically, but it really didn't need shoveled. It really needed at that time it didn't need much, but every time our drive was taken care of by someone different without being asked.
Yeah.
We've always been just so blessed.
Do you have conversations with God about this?
Yeah, but it's not of anger or bitter. It's more just more asking him to relay messages to Noel from me.
Okay. Like what?
Tell him I miss him. Tell him that he has great kids.
Okay.
And that I can't wait to see him again someday. Just when we are blessed, especially by those that knew him only, and he would be so excited, I like to share that with him because, he would be in awe, honestly.
Yeah. Regrets?
Mostly, not too many, honestly. Of course, I wish I had a few more. I wish I wasn't as controlling in the gift department.
Oh.
I wish I had more things that he specifically picked out for me to say this was from him.
Yeah.
Although I have some, but there's not a whole lot that he picked out himself personally that I have.
What do you have around the house that reminds you of him besides pictures?
Besides pictures, well, we've kept some of his stuff where it was.
Okay.
Still, just like his favorite color, we've redid some of the house and put up his favorite color more places.
Which was what color?
Red.
Red. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, just trying to put scripture up more. We made this prayer chart that out of a dry erase marker board, and my kids just like fight over it in the sense where they can't wait to keep adding names to it because that was just so ingrained in them to be prayer warriors. And so they're like, oh, don't forget this person and that person, even those that they don't have a specific request.
If there's anything that we can learn from this, if you were to speak to a father out there or maybe a mother that's listening to your story, what would you want them to hear?
One of the easiest ways that I can get through this, I believe, is, of course, through Christ, and also that Noel and I did almost everything together. There wasn't a whole lot of things I had to learn that was just like so foreign to me because we did so much together, even decisions. And so and of course, serving Christ together, raising our children in a church, and to love God and to be saved.
Renae Shepley, thank you.
Thank you.
You helped somebody today. You helped somebody get through a tough day for sharing this story. I really appreciate it. And whoever they are, they do too.
Can I read a quick verse?
10 seconds.
Okay, Romans 15:13. Oh, come on. Shoot.
Some other day.
Smartphones, yeah. Look up Romans 15:13.
All right. And that's it on this special edition of RestoringHopeLive.com.